So we had a little glitch happen in the original schedule. Excuse me, in the original scheduled live for the weekly. So this is the second one. This actually, well, not this exact thing, but another glitch like this happened when I did the New Moon Virgo live on Patreon, which was very annoying because we were very close to the end. And then I had to do a whole new one for like the last like 10, 15 minutes. But anyway, hi, we're here. And we're live again. Yes, we are. We're live again. I hope the other one closed appropriately. Sometimes when the lives glitch out, they don't close. So if it's still open, please, by all means, inform people that we are over here now, okay? But I'm so sorry about that, guys. We're back. Yes, we are. We're back. It closed. Okay, good, good. Aloha. Aloha. Hi, Jennifer. Chili Mama. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. It closed. Okay, yeah, thank you guys for the confirmation. But yeah, we are here. We are back. And we are doing this a little later in the day than we normally do. It was just one of those days. There was a lot going on today that I needed to catch up on. Not to mention, today is the new moon. Happy new moon in Virgo. I do expect that we'll probably still be live when the new moon peaks, you know? So if anyone has like rituals or anything, just to keep that in mind if you like to do it during like the peak of a new moon or a full moon. But also, that's kind of cool that it's going to be happening while we're live, right? But yeah, especially the energy of this new moon, I woke up with like the most intense tension right in the center of my upper back, and I was like, and I was not surprised, just because for those who are my patrons, y'all already know we went over this with the fixed stars, right? There was a fixed star that pertained to the back of the heart, the back of the lungs, and I have already been in this very like physical psychic medium like mode, and I woke up and I was like, ow. I was like, whoa. Your channel has been jumping with videos and lives lately. I'm loving every minute of it. It's just been one of those times, so I'm glad you've been enjoying it. But yeah, so this morning I had to take like a lot of extra time to address that. How do I sign up for Patreon? You just go there. The links are all the words, all the words. The description for every video has everything you need for like websites, Patreon, Vimeo, all that stuff. So there should be a link down there, or you can just Google Patreon BOMISpirit. It'll come like right up on Google. But yeah, so I had to take some extra time this morning to address that, and my goodness, that's why the center of my back hurts. Oh yeah, it's the heart. It be the heart. I mean, that fixed star specifically speaks to the back of the lungs, but the lungs and the heart coincide. They also coincide with the element of air, too, and breath, which is also why I was emphasizing that in the short that I did, just briefly talking about the new moon Virgo, and I posted it on IG too, but neither here nor there. So just, you know, just touching on some of that a little bit today. So it's been a day, but we are here to talk about the weekly. And for those who are new, welcome. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment. The way this is going to work, I'm going to give you my 2 cents on what is going down for this week. We're going to get into some astrology. We'll get into some channel messages. We'll get into some cards. And we're going to hang out and have a good time. Okay, I usually do timestamps as well. If you're new, there should be a timestamp for what you're looking for if you're not an astrology person or if you're not really a tarot person, right? Yeah, is there anything else I need to say? I don't think so. I just want to make sure I keep myself like on target. Actually, I want my pink pen. I color code everything. Hey, Nettie. Oh, Paula. Hello. I always associate Virgo with Raphael, and Raphael with the heart. Oh, very well. That makes sense. That makes sense to me, especially because he is associated with Regulus, right? And Regulus is also one of the royal stars, and Regulus is also technically in Virgo nowadays. It sits at 0 degrees in Virgo now. Didn't used to. It's a whole other video to talk about how that sort of stuff changes. But yeah, so I'm not surprised that you do. It makes a lot of sense to me. Let's go ahead. I'm like, oh, is all my whiteout still wet? My whiteout is still wet. Let's go ahead and get into the overview here. I know I'm really close to the camera today. I'm going to adjust that like this. Oh, that's a little better. I feel like I was right up in y'all's faces. Okay, you need to change the timestamp again. Yes, okay, so let's go ahead and get into the overview. So as I was doing my notes, The thing that really came through and really struck me was just like a quick little saying, and it's not really a known saying, or maybe it is, I don't know. We normally hear when people show you who they are, believe them, right? We normally hear that. And it's very true. Definitely believe people when they tell you and show you who they are. But what was coming through for me, for you, for all of us, was when people show you who they are, it reminds you of who you are and who you are not anymore. That came through as a third too. So I feel like that's actually a good way to look at this week's energy. This week is still really nice. There's a lot of really cool things that were coming through with the new moon Virgo, closure, new beginnings, breathing life back into life again, and all of that. But also, I didn't talk about this a lot in the shorts just because it's literally 60 seconds. Not enough time to say everything. But I went over this with my patrons for the new moon Virgo live, which is not posted on Vimeo, by the way. Finally got that uploaded. But something else that was coming through was there was some dragon energy in reference to some of the fixed stars and primordial forces in terms of Chinese astrology and mythology. It got really interesting over there. But anyway, this notion also of training your dragon and mastering the wielding of your sword. And I think that's still very much present this week. It's really acknowledging your ego and your shadow. And, where are you in terms of your relationship with that? It's just a lot of that can be exacerbated at this time, especially the egoic behavior and egoic impulses. And we'll get into that too, because again, it's prevalent this week still. But even when it comes to the sword and mastering how to wield your sword, when I'm speaking of the sword, I'm speaking of discernment. I'm speaking of your words. I'm speaking of logic. I'm speaking of communication. I'm speaking of beliefs. I'm speaking of how good are you at discerning what's really going on in a situation, including within yourself? And are you really good at utilizing your sword to navigate situations, but also to put an end to certain things or cut through illusions and bullshit, right? Or to even forge situations. So a lot of really interesting themes going on there, but that came through again with the new moon Virgo, which is happening today on the 2nd, but again, very prevalent this week. So coming back to this phrase, statement that came through before, when people show you who they are, it reminds you of who you are and who you are not anymore, for a third group of people, okay? That being said, something that is very prominent this week as well, we have this really strong desire for harmony. We have a strong desire for joy and for pleasure and peace. And that's a really good thing. I think we can all agree that's a very nice thing to experience. Now, while this desire is coming up, some of you could even experience this as maybe a little taste of wanting some justice. There's other forces going on there we will talk about. But as this desire comes up, there may be some encouragement or some pull or just a want or even a need to socialize or connect with certain people in certain ways, or maybe even be very honest with certain people about certain things, right? Or maybe even wanting the truth so that there can be this balance achieved, right? Within yourself or within certain situations or even relationships, right? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. As you indulge in that and engage in that, and what I'm about to say holds true more so for the end of the week, I want to make that clear, compared to the beginning of the week, and we will get into why. But as you start to do that, if you entertain that, there's a couple of things that could happen. Just according to the astrology, they're not nails in the coffin by any means, but definitely some high potential for miscommunication, actually. High potential for conflict and confusion and projection and criticism and judgment and demanding energy and authoritative issues. Now, it might be very uncomfortable, but here's the beautiful thing that can come of this. Like wires are getting crossed, essentially, with the miscommunication factor. So if you're dealing with people who are your people who can actually who have the capacity to have these kind of healthy give and take, meeting you at the table kind of relationships, then what's cool is that you both can actually find a new way of communicating. You both can start to get into a space of, wait, what have we not even considered? What have we not even really talked about? Or what have we not just considered, right? And that could lead to new insights for yourself as far as who you are and your own personal life experiences, and even challenging situations that normally maybe you evade or just have had a lot of trouble with suddenly are not so hard anymore. So that's a really cool thing that can come of that. However, am I hallucinating? I see less than 60 likes. That was cute. Yes, please like the video. If you're in here, please, please, please like the video. I really appreciate it. Now, here's another thing that could happen. You could recognize that someone is showing you who they are, and you're like, oh, dang, that's who you be. Oh, I don't like that. Or you know what? Maybe that's not for me, right? So there's a silver lining to some of this difficult social energy, right? And so if someone is showing you who they are and you are like, oh, I know who I am and this is not, this is not meshing, then it's time to refocus on some solo personal projects, experiences, doing things on your own or for yourself that feel really good or that make you really happy or bring you joy, right? Or even focusing on relationships where there can be a harmony achieved, right? So there's a lot to gain and a lot to be learned this week just through social interactions, even if a lot of them may seem really hard or unpleasant. And for some people, there could be a lot of fear that comes up in the notion of getting into certain situations that historically have been difficult, or engaging with someone where maybe things are not great, or even just the possibility of being vulnerable and suddenly things go awry, right? But again, a lot to be gained from this, and even a lot of personal empowerment and confidence to be gained from this as well. So I do encourage you to just, even if something seems scary and tough, just remember at the end of the day, you're probably going to have a much more solid understanding of other people and yourself and how to relate. Now, on that same note, we are still in the post shadow of Mercury retrograde. The retrograde is over, but we're in the integration phase. And so there may be reflections, if you will, of things that you were experiencing through the month of August, and particularly like the middle part, but throughout the month of August that are coming up again, or maybe needing some closure, essentially, needing you to basically show you learned what you learned and you are very solid with what it is that you learned through this Mercury retrograde experience, okay? Anything else I want to mention? That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest takeaway. The following week, the week after this, I think we'll start to actually, we're going to get a little bit more vitality back. Things are going to be a little bit more easier to deal with, a little bit more ease with communication. So no matter what difficulties or stumbles you come across this week, again, allow it to just remind you of who you are, and also to reaffirm that you have the tools and the skills to navigate any sort of difficult situation, okay? And that it's going to be fine. Oh, excuse me. Is there anything else? I feel like there's something else I want to mention. I feel like it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, okay. This is going to need its own timestamp. Hold on. Okay. Something else that's really big this week. On September 4th, Mars is moving into Cancer. I already did an Astro Talk video on this. It's on Patreon. It is not on YouTube yet. It'll probably post tomorrow. Patrons get early access to all my Astro Talks, my astrology talks. So that one is actually going to be a series because there's so much to say and track and look at with this Mars phase. Because with Mars going into Cancer, we can't effectively talk about it without talking about Mars going into Leo, or without talking about its retrograde phase. Okay, actually, I am very glad I have my astrology notes here. Hold on, just a minute. Un momento. That's the new in Virgo. That's the weekly. Did I not write it down in here? Oh, there's no way I didn't. Hold on a second. Hold on. And yes, I have an astrology binder. I'm working on a lot of things, guys, in the background of YouTube. Let's see, it's 2024. Where are my 2025 Mars notes? Okay, I'm a little sad because I can't imagine they just got up and walked away. Oh, wait. Yeah, I found them. That's the calendar. I had more concise notes. And now I'm annoyed because I know I had more concise notes. Okay, so starting October 4th, the pre-shadow starts for Mars, retrograding through Leo and Cancer. November 3rd, Mars enters Leo. December 6th, Mars goes retrograde into Leo. January 6th, Mars retrograde enters Cancer. February 23rd, Mars goes direct in Cancer, and then the post-shadow ends in May. I want to say May 2nd, okay? This is a very long phase. Now, again, I started talking about it in the Astro Talk video, but again, it's going to be a series. So if you want to stay up to date on all the stuff that's happening during that entire phase and be on the ride with everyone else, don't forget to set your notifications, okay? But with this Mars retrograde, I think some of the biggest lessons are going to be how aware we are or not of the way we take action from the heart or from the ego, okay? And that is already kind of getting a little kick-started already. We're not in the pre-shadow yet, but even this week, and some of the aspects and fixed stars that we have working with the new moon Virgo, which is initiating us into this week, and into Mars going into Cancer, there is this like boost and support for people who tend to act out of their ego, and it's almost exacerbating it. Mars in Cancer typically is technically debilitated, just so you guys know. It just means that Mars has a hard time functioning in that sign because Cancer is emotional, Cancer is empathetic, Cancer is about loved ones, while Mars is more, I want to do shit, I want to do shit, I want to do shit, I want to break shit down, I want to get shit done, I need to do, right? That's very Mars energy. So when Mars is in Cancer, it tends to create, sorry, I have so many papers everywhere, I just don't want to lose my notes. So when Mars is in Cancer, it tends to create this motivation that's driven by people that you love and people you want to protect, and even just your own emotional body, which sometimes doesn't go so well. But there's other aspects at play that will be happening multiple times throughout that retrograde phase that will challenge you in terms of what are your real motivations. Just because they come from emotions doesn't mean that they are in the right, right? Doesn't mean that they're even necessarily good. Just because you think you're right doesn't mean it's a good thing. But again, there is this emphasis on the ego. And so coming back to this week, I think we're just really starting to get a taste of that lesson, those experiences. Some of you don't need this lesson. Some of us don't, some of us do, right? So just know that dealing with the ego or people acting from the ego and thinking they're really in the right and thinking they're justified, it's going to be a theme. And it's going to be a theme for a while, okay? Literally had a talk with my bestie yesterday about acting from love versus fear ego. Yeah, I need to cry, I need to cry, I need to cry. Today is one of those days too. It's like if you're feeling any energy in the back of your heart, like whether it's just pain or tension, tingles, you probably have some emotion that's trying to move. You probably have some grief, sadness, disappointment that's trying to move. If you're feeling anything in like your digestive system, it's probably shame or guilt is my guess. If it's anything in relation to like the sacral or the navel, it probably is around like, well, I just heard safety. I wouldn't normally say that, but safety is coming through with that. Safety to play and enjoy and receive and create, or even some, like if you've had any stagnancy in your life, there's probably some stuff going on there too. That's just my takeaway. But yeah, so this is an interesting week where we are embarking on how far away is May? May is like so far away. I can't even count right now. Like 5, 6, no wait, we're in September, right? Yeah, we're in September. Is that really 8 months? Holy crap, that's 8 months. Now, like I said, this is encompassing the pre-shadow and post-shadow for Mars retrograde, and including Mars moving into Cancer, just because Mars in Cancer is part of that experience. I also am considering this the beginning of an 8-month phase because we have also just begun, how long is that? 2.5 months? 2.5 month cycle of closure with Pluto being in Capricorn now. That has been perfectly timed with this new moon Virgo, which is also helping us with closure, but also helping us to revitalize our lives and in a way really say goodbye to whatever it is we need to with this closure phase, so we can feel a little bit more solid and steady with this next 20-year cycle of Pluto being in Aquarius, which has major implications. And even just the next year has major implications generationally, with Uranus and Neptune and Pluto all basically starting to get very comfortable in their new signs, right? Which they're going to be at home in for quite a while. So lots going on, but this is a week where it is definitely the beginning of some endings, beginning of some beginnings, and beginnings also of some new perspectives and insights and new ways of relating and new ways of self-regulating and navigating, but very much circulating around social experiences. Okay? So that being said, we ready for a little astrology? I am. I'm always ready for a little astrology, unless I am burned out, but I am not. I am feeling very good today. I have to say, this is probably the best I have felt all week. But people who are in my life, they know what's been going on. And there's been a lot going on just on a spiritual cosmic level, and it's also just, spilled over into the physical. Yeah, this is the best I felt all week, thank God. Woohoo, astrology. Yes, so let's get into this. First, we're going to talk about Mercury. Mercury in Leo. Again, we're in the post shadow, so we are also integrating those lessons as well, which also ties into just the theme of the week of like the beginning of major endings and beginnings of beginnings, right? Hold on, let me do a timestamp for this too. So for this next section that I'm going to talk about, I would look to your personal houses. For Leo, 20 to 29 degrees. There's other celestial bodies that are tied to Mercury here, but I would really stay focused on Mercury if you're wanting to just kind of like look at things relatively simple or like in a simple manner, okay? So with this, Mercury all week is square Uranus. Not my favorite, but not terrible. Also, there could be some weird shit going on with electronics with this aspect. I'm just saying, because Mercury square Uranus is just innately like that. Leo and Taurus don't necessarily relate to electronics, but Leo is about being seen, and so much of about the way we are seen or witnessed or received does happen electronically nowadays versus in person. So, yeah, don't be surprised if that happens. But on a grander scale, the square, like I said, is happening the entirety of the week, but it actually is strongest at the end of the week. I'm telling you guys, the end of the week is going to feel a little bit more janky compared to the beginning. So if you're going to attempt any like communications, sharing yourself, etc., I would do it at the beginning. I would try it for like today or tomorrow. I would not wait till like Friday. Friday might not be good for any of that. I would not wait till Friday. I would definitely not wait till Sunday, because there's just some crunchy ass energies by the end of the week. But so we have that square, and Mercury is also trine Chiron, which Chiron is still working with Eris and Aries. That is all about the wounded ego, identity, self, right? And we've been working with those energies for a long time. And so it's just continued healing, recovering, healing, evolution in terms of our own identity and how we assert ourselves and things of that nature. But by the end of the week, Mercury starts to move into a sextile with Mars. I don't think we're going to really feel the impact of that until the following week. And that one is going to be really nice. But even by the end of the week, there's still like not super close. And I believe that one peaks on September 11th when the post shadow ends, actually, for Mercury, which will be a perfect timing, I gotta say. Sometimes timing is not coincidental, right? And Mercury is also by the end of the week going to be square Pallas Athena, which is moving into Sagittarius this week. So finally moving out of Scorpio, which is kind of interesting. I don't know. I was really enjoying her being in Scorpio. I don't know. That energy just kind of came natural to me. And the implications of that we will go over. And, they're neighbors. So it's like there's not a major difference, but there are some key differences that will be nice in terms of how you are coming to the table with other people, how you are trying to communicate and be seen and be heard, be received, and also receive others, especially if anything kind of goes awry or miscommunications or misunderstandings happen. Pallas being in Sag is actually really nice, even though it is technically in a square. it's still nice, and we'll get into why. But all these aspects, what is this coming down to? Mercury square Uranus is by far the star of this little cluster. Breakthroughs are huge with the square. Even though it is technically a square, breakthroughs can happen just because of the nature of Uranus impacting the mental space that comes with Mercury. Excuse me, but this can also come with miscommunications, new perspectives, impatience, anxiety, feeling like there's not enough time to do things. Deadlines come to mind, and especially being in Virgo season, happy birthday Virgos, whether you're imposing deadlines on yourself or expectations or standards, or that is happening outside of you through work or authority figures, which is highly likely this week because of some Saturn activity that we'll get into, it could feel like there's literally not enough time. And that can be very stressful, as we know, right? In the way we live in our world these days. It's an illusion. Don't buy into it. And if people start pressuring you, again, especially with like a boss or work or people you're actually like try to do stuff with, or anyone who's older than you, or anyone who thinks they have authority over you, it's a whole other thing, right? Try your best to not buy into it yourself. Try your best to not attach your value to it. Try your best to be patient and do what you can to take care of yourself, okay? And if it's self-imposed, that's a lot easier to deal with than someone forcing you or external circumstances, right? But that's coming with Mercury square Uranus. And again, far stronger by the end of the week compared to the beginning, okay? Is the Capricorn reading coming soon? We're struggling out here. I forgot who I did this last week. Who did I do? I did Gemini, Cap, and Pisces. So those will post through the week. This is the week for Gemini, Cap, and Pisces readings to come out. Now, some of the differences of the beginning of the week to the end of the week is that Chiron versus Mars and Pallas, right? The beginning of the week with that Chiron activity, we've been in it for a little bit. It's just really nice. It's just helping us to get some new perspectives on our personal life experience, and also communicating about our life experience and being seen and received in that life experience. Now, because of some of the other crunchy energies that we got going on, being received and seen might not come as easy as it was before, okay? And it's not to say stop. It's not to say don't do it, because remember what I was saying in the overview, this is a week where if you rise to the challenge and try to meet people at the table and have them meet you, if they are people that you are capable and they are capable of having healthy, reciprocal give and take relationships, there could be some really positive, like a big positive growth between you and them, or for yourself or for them. So it's like there is a silver lining there to at least attempt and try. But if someone is really in their ego and someone's really acting out of fear and they're really projecting and da 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 da, leave it alone. Okay, that is your cue to go. This ain't working. I tried. I know who I am. I'm gonna go over here now. Okay, that's all that means. Now, you could be having within yourself, away from other people, this new insight of self and your own self-esteem and your own stories and narratives about yourself. That's also a big theme too with the collective energy right now, the power of stories and words, and that definitely applies here. So honestly, the internal experience this week seems to be really, really positive compared to what could occur externally. But even then, still nuggets of positive experiences to be had at the end of the day if you're willing to work through things. If you have a history of having difficulty working through things with other people, this is a week to overcome that. And even if you are confronted by shit not working, it's time to overcome your fear or insecurities and your stories around that, and realize you don't have to have these same unpleasant experiences over and over. Some of you also may realize it's just a difference of people that you're choosing too, okay? Okay. Now, towards the end of the week, that Pallas energy, I'm not going to talk about Mars that much because, again, I'm not feeling it. It's there, but I'm not feeling it this week. It's going to be really strong next week. But the Pallas energy, that's like the wires getting crossed, is kind of emphasized because it's in a square with Mercury. It doesn't feel awful. It just feels like I can't articulate exactly what I'm feeling. You're not receiving me in exactly how I'm trying to be heard. So, I'm just going to be patient and I'm just going to go over here. Like, that's just kind of how it feels. It doesn't feel, intense or awful. Now, speaking to the following week around Mars, like I said, September 11th is going to be a really interesting day. Not to mention just the like timeline ripples of historical events, which I don't need to reiterate or go into here. But on that day, that's when Mercury sextile Mars is going to be exact. But that's also when the official post shadow ends. For Mercury retrograde, which I'm going to be very thankful for. I feel like this post shadow for Mercury this time around is very strong. Like normally when I'm in the post shadow, I'm I can feel that it's not as tough and things feel a little easier. I still feel that retrograde effect with this particular post shadow. So I'm just really looking forward to September 11th being a nice day because that sextile of Mercury to Mars, that is going to bring about a lot of ease with handling anything, pretty much, because we're talking about Mars, the way we take action, the way we are motivated, the way we make shit, happen and follow through on things. And Mercury is also positively aspected here, right? So it's like the mind is sharp, the body is sharp, vitality is there, intelligence is on point, charisma is on point. There's even like a nice, flirty, fun, romantic energy about it too, if you're engaging with it that way. But it's really, really nice. It's really nice. So I think that's just going to be a nice, refreshing energy to be in after a little crunchy energy this week. All right. Now, a little bit more to say about this section before we move on. Jupiter all week is also sextile Chiron, which is only helping. Okay. And that's all week. So it's not just a beginning energy, but experiencing that with this week, it's really going to help with the new insights and viewpoints of ourselves, our identities, our egos, our own self-esteem, our own confidence, and being able to navigate difficult situations that we historically just had a lot of trouble with and realize that the story can change, right? Another thing with this, because it is Jupiter getting in the mix, especially being in Gemini, right, is community. And this is where it gets also kind of funky because engaging with people, we are learning a lot in the ways I've already described, but Jupiter sextile Chiron might even bring a little bit more luck our way when it comes to engaging with the right people, right? So also why I'm not too worried about the critical, judgmental, egotistical energies, because Jupiter might actually be a nice little compass and almost not ensuring, but putting the odds a little bit more in our favor of that not happening, right? So I'm loving that. Now, also this week, Jupiter starts to get a little further away from that square that it's been in with Saturn. It's still there, but it's not strong. So that restriction that we're feeling between personal freedom and needing to really be within and really focus on our faith and our spiritual practices and where are we with our own emotional attachment and is that restricting us and all of that, that's starting to get a little bit more loose. So you actually may have an easier time getting around. You may have an easier time getting into playful situations, experiences, hobbies. It just feels a little bit easier. So if any of you are like wanting to travel or anything, this is actually not a bad week to maybe do it or consider it. Don't forget to hit the like button. Just saying, we got 333 people. Come on, guys. Come on. You want other people to get the messages too, right? I do. All right. The last thing about this little cluster, a little bit more about Mars. So as Mars is moving into Cancer this week, it starts the week in Gemini, and it is square Neptune all week. I talked about this last week, and I talked about how it's getting stronger, right? This actually peaks September 3rd, I believe, which is in a couple days. 2nd or 3rd, I'm pretty sure it's the 3rd, depending on where you are in the world. This is a tough one. Oh, I'm like feeling some weird energy on the left side of my face. Oh, that was weird. This is kind of a tough one. This can bring low energy, like lethargy, depression, lack of faith, confusion. It can really stir up fear and guilt and shame. It really it stirs up, how do I want to say? It stirs up confusion and like an imbalance between like heart and mind in terms of like how we're doing, what we're doing, and the consequences of our actions, like things like that, Yeah, I'm just looking at my notes here. Sometimes I can't read my own handwriting. Like, good Lord. Can sense your energy. Wait a minute. Conserve. Oh my God. It's bad when you can't read your own handwriting, right? Because of the low energy and because of the confusing emotions and or thoughts and or paranoia or fear or shame that's getting stirred up at this time, conserve your energy especially when it comes to dealing with difficult situations, especially with people. But this is also where it gets a little tricky with everything I said before, right? Well, again, I encourage you to meet people at the table. Also recognize just your own emotional and energetic needs. Like recognize your own bandwidth, all right? Of is this just going to drain the shit out of me to the point where I can't function or I can't like maintain my own life, especially for those who are highly sensitive people or those who are neurodivergent, for example, just speaking as to my own experience, right? So just be aware of yourself, of how much you can really invest or attempt to work through things with people at this time if that's something that gets presented to you. Also a good time to try to avoid pushing against people where it's not worth it. Kind of what I was saying before. Like if someone's just in their ego and they're acting out of fear and they're being unkind, they're not even hearing you out. Do not waste your energy, do not waste your breath. All you're going to do is invite a fight. That's all you're going to do. Not worth it. Okay. Something that is kind of nice though, with Neptune being here and even with Mars being in Gemini in the beginning of the week, any sort of creative outlets that you have or any like fun little go-to things that bring you joy will actually really help you a lot with almost like muddling through any confusing thoughts or feelings at this time. So I would definitely indulge in that this week if that's something that jives with you. Okay. So that's that. But the next little cluster. Oh, so really quick. So I mentioned if for focusing on everything I just spoke about, focus on Mercury being in Leo. So wherever you have Leo, 20 to 29 degrees, but keep your eye on Mars too. Keep your eye on the house and or houses, because some of you may be overlapping, where Mars is transiting. So I would also look at Gemini 25 degrees to Cancer 5 degrees. It is a range, right? I would look at that range of in your houses and just keep your eye on it, because that's where things could probably get a little muddy. That's where things could get a little unclear, and even where people might be very unclear with you. Because even with that square, it can also bring about like tendencies for people to be manipulative too. It kind of brings out the shadow a little bit of like Mars and with Neptune, and it's not great. It's like it doesn't feel good. So just keep your eye. Just keep your eye. You don't got to be worried about it. Just take note and be like, okay, right? Don't worry about it too much. But let's get into the next cluster here, the battle of egos. Are we ready for that? Hold on a second. I got a little water left. The battle of egos. This is all around Saturn. This is all in the polarity of Virgo and Pisces. So actually, before I get deep into this one, I just want to give a little tidbit here. Because we're working with the polarity of Virgo and Pisces, health, physical health, and emotional health are a little bit more susceptible to being compromised. Doesn't mean it has to happen. Just be careful, okay? Just take care of yourself. Like, drink your water, take your vitamins, eat decently, have a fun meal here and there, but like, eat decently. Make sure that you're trying to get your sleep. Make sure you're trying to keep your stress levels down. Like, make sure you're not playing with knives or whatever. I don't know what you do in your life, right? Just be careful. Just be careful. Especially with Saturn being in the mix here, with Saturn and Pisces. If you have Saturn or Mars, like a malefic that is working in the polarity that represents health, like Virgo, Pisces, it can try to teach you some lessons on your health, right? So just be mindful, especially if you have Virgo or Pisces in a health house, like the 12th house or 6th house. Just be mindful, okay? That's it. That's all I want to say about that. But let's go ahead and move on. So again, this is more about the end of the week. Like I said, end of the week is a little bit more janky than the beginning of the week. But by the end of the week, the sun is going to start opposing Saturn. Also kind of tough. That's kind of a tough aspect to balance, because when we're talking about oppositions, we're talking about balancing and harmonizing the polarity of that opposition, which again is Virgo, Pisces. So we're going to have the sun opposing Saturn, while also Orcus is still in the mix here. So Orcus is going to be working with the sun and opposing Saturn at the same time. Orcus is kind of Plutonian, for those who are unaware of what Orcus even is. Orcus is interesting. Kind of like Pluto. Pluto is all about digging truth up, right? Orcus likes to do that too, but Orcus likes to see some justice for some bullshit. That's not Pluto's bag, but that's Orcus's bag. Orcus wants justice. Orcus really enjoys karmic closure. I'm not going to go as far as to say vengeance and punishment, but that's kind of the shadow of Orcus too. All the more reason to be careful with your health, just saying. But Orcus is also about healing modalities and knowledge and wisdom and learning and all of that too, which is really nice, especially when we're talking about like new age modalities like Reiki or herbalism or whatever, right? So that's just a little info on Orcus for those who, are not aware. But all these aspects, what does this even mean? There's a few things, there's a few implications. Companionship versus distance. This could actually bring about a feeling that people are wanting to be away from you when you actually want to be a little closer, especially we're going to have this strong pull for connection, which again, we'll get into. So this could also bring about some misunderstandings in the ways that I said before, where you're wanting to be close to people or you're wanting to talk to people or connect to people and they may not want to. They may want a little distance or even vice versa. So that's one thing that could be happening. Also, because Saturn does like to restrict and it's going to be in opposition to the sun, which typically represents like ego and desire to an extent. Restriction, delays, difficulty with expression, low self-esteem, worry, grief, depression. But again, don't get too worried about it, right? It doesn't mean that you're going to fall prey to any of this. It just means the potential for all of that to come through is a little bit higher. And since we're starting off this week too with the new moon Virgo, and there is some encouragement to really breathe into your body and to let emotions flow and energy flow. And Mars square Neptune is exacerbating emotions, even ones that maybe don't have a lot of validity to what's actually happening in the present. Yes, there's a high likelihood that these emotions may come to the surface, but it doesn't mean it has to overwhelm you. It doesn't mean it has to drown you. If anything, it could help you to just recognize, right, a little bit more of what's really going on deep within yourself, and also just giving you more opportunities to learn how to navigate your own emotional regulation, okay? Something else that's important about this polarity is to stay really rooted in reality, okay? Because it is Virgo and Pisces. Virgo has a little bit of a rigidity of being overly realistic and overly practical and maybe even overly safe, while Pisces is like, hey, let's dream a little bit, right? Dream and be in tune with your spiritual side, be in tune with the possibilities of what your intuition is telling you and even just what is in the unseen, but don't lose yourself in it. Don't lose yourself in the illusions and stirrings of the mind and the emotions, right? The imaginings of the mind is almost what I want to say. Allow Virgo to ground you a little bit here, all right? What else? Yeah, frustration. So when frustration sets in, because with the Saturn component here against the sun, it definitely creates an ego battle situation. It creates a situation where you're wanting to act in a certain way, you're seeking a certain result, or you're just moving about your life in whatever way, shape, or form, and then you bump up against a Saturnian energy. And then there comes the challenge of, can you harmonize with that Saturnian energy? In a lot of ways, that can be like an authority figure, a boss or an elder, or just someone who thinks they're high and mightier than you may come along and judge you and criticize you or put you down or maybe just not act so nicely. That tends to happen a lot with the sun opposing Saturn. It's not fun. It's not. So when that happens, it's really important to not submit to what they are saying as truth, especially in the term of like criticism, okay? A weekly again? Yeah, it's Monday. It's Moon Day. It's Monday. This is when we do the weeklies. Anyway, sorry, distracted me. Coming back. Don't lose who you are in this. Remember what I said in the very beginning. When people show you who they are, it reminds you who you are and who you are not, and who you are not anymore, okay? I feel with this, I do feel a little bit of like maybe being judged for old versions of self. I think that could happen definitely for some people here, which is kind of interesting. But when this happens, you may get frustrated, especially if you're experiencing any kind of restriction that just doesn't have to do with anybody, like a human being, just like life seems to be sitting you down or just delaying you in some way, shape, or form. Again, this may still feel like a retrograde to you, even though technically we're in the post shadow, right? As that happens, just refocus yourself. That's it. just refocus yourself. Because remember, Saturn in Pisces is teaching us adaptability and to have a little bit of faith and to be a little bit more malleable, right? So just refocus, especially on anything that is within your control, which is something within you, right? Like going and play video games, or I don't know, painting, or playing with your dog, or whatever, baking cookies. I don't know. I don't know what you do, right? A little something that brings a little joy can go a long way. All right. Now, another cool thing about this, though, is if you take this energy and you focus it on a personal project or a personal goal where you are not dependent upon other people being involved in it, like maybe it's a health goal, which would actually be perfect for this, to be honest with you. Maybe maybe that's something you got going on. But if you do have anything where you can engage or have some sort of progress where it's not dependent on another person, you can actually see a lot of success. You can see a lot of progress and growth in whatever that is at this time, because when other people get involved, that's when that judgmental, critical, harsh energy of Saturn really gets exacerbated with this aspect. But if you're riding solo, you could actually have a very strong work ethic at this time and be very motivated. You could have a tendency to be hard on yourself, but that I think is more reliant on just individual personalities and whatever you got going on within yourself, okay? But that's what I have to say about that. Now, I will say, looking at the polarity of Virgo and Pisces in your houses is where I would look for this. And I would look to, what did I write for the range? I wrote 10 to 15 degrees, but that 16-degree point is pretty important. So whatever houses those are for you, wherever that range falls, 10 to 15 degrees, again, you can include 16 if you want to. That's where you're going to see the need to harmonize those houses within your life and within your relationships. And it might not be easy. And when it gets hard, refocus and do something fun. Okay? Or do something that is just for you and you alone, and it'll probably be okay. All right? All right. Let's move on to Libra. This is nice. I'm excited to talk about this. This feels really good. Just doing the timestamp. Okay. Actually, let's do 10. Yeah. All right. So, Libra. Venus is in Libra, as is Lilith, as is Juno, and they're all really close to each other. So they're hanging out together on the new moon, but also throughout the week in a really beautiful conjunction. This is bringing about that desire for connection and love and beauty and pleasure and joy, and to have things be working, right? To have things be in a state of flow. That is the desire. That is a huge motivator, especially with Lilith being involved in this too. And that is also why there's this driving force to try to talk, to try to connect, maybe even try to make amends or to get, yourself on the same page with other people. This can also be internalized as far as maybe focusing on your own aesthetics, maybe like some new skincare routines or whatever, things like that. Even just getting more creative in your life, or trying to bring in or breathe in just beauty into your own environment and things that make you feel good just being you, right? It doesn't have to involve other people, but it most likely will, just because Venus is part of this, which that's just what she's about. And it's also Libra. Libra gives a shit about people. Libra can't help it, right? So at the end of the day, I think it's a really beautiful conjunction. But obviously, given all of the other energies we have going on, it does have pretty big implications as far as what kind of situations we may get ourselves into and what can be experienced as a result of those situations, which, coming back full circle, like I said before, it's really just going to remind you and show you who you really are and who you are not anymore. And it will definitely help to solidify any sort of new approaches or beliefs or stories or perspectives or skills on how you navigate your relationships and how you relate to people and how you receive people and how you want to be received. So at the end of the day, it's a helping hand no matter which way you cut it. A couple interesting things to note though is this conjunction is square Ceres in Capricorn. And with the new moon Virgo and some of the early energies in the beginning of the week, I didn't really talk about it here, but talked about in the new moon Virgo video. But towards the beginning of the week, there is a strong emphasis on future thinking and how to cultivate and nurture your own resources and just plans that facilitate the future you want and the legacy you want. That future forward thinking sometimes can get us in trouble, but here with it being square to all that Libra energy, it's a reminder of what's important, which is connection, right? So if you're in like hardcore striving mode, you may get a little bit of a reminder this week of what else is important, right? People, connection, joy, joy of the heart, love, all these things, right? This conjunction is also supporting the South Node, and so also keep in mind there could be some strong nostalgia this week. That was coming through really strongly when I was doing the signs for the New Moon Virgo. Like almost every single sign had either an ace or a six of cups or both. I don't think there was, well, maybe there was one or two that didn't have either of those, but most of them did. But there can be a lot of nostalgic energy and just reflecting on your past. Some of this can even go as far as an extreme to like a soul retrieval kind of experience, but it mostly is just reflecting on what brought you joy and remembering how to love again, how to have fun again, how to live again, a little bit of resurrecting of old pieces of self, but pieces of self that maybe you thought didn't serve you, but actually did, is kind of how it feels. It almost feels like, yeah, like you looked at these pieces of you, you've looked at these relationships or these experiences, and you had made a decision, and you're revisiting and you're changing your mind, is almost what that feels like. That's not going to be the case for everybody, but that's just how it feels intuitively. All of this is also going to be working with Cheraclo down the line later this week, which will only help facilitate even more so of that reminder of who you are, right? And who you are not anymore. Okay? The only final thing I want to mention real quick is just Pallas Athena. I don't think there's much to say here. Uranus, actually, okay, no, there's more to say. Hold on. Always trying to keep it simple is very hard for me. So really quickly, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are still working with each other, and they're very close. This might be the closest that they're going to be for quite a long time, because Uranus just went retrograde, and it's at Taurus 27 degrees, right? Neptune by the end of the week is going to be at 28 in Pisces, and Pluto's at 29 Capricorn. 27, 28, 29, and they're all aspecting each other. Again, they have been for a long time. We've all been experiencing it. Them working together is really just helping and assisting with acknowledging some really big changes that need to happen, like what systems don't work, essentially, and the needed changes that will fix all of that and rectify that for the long term is all that needs to be said there. So that could be going on in your individual life, but it is more of a collective experience. Now, that being said, let's talk about Pallas Athena. So they're all aspecting each other, right? Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are all aspecting Pallas as well. Uranus in opposition, Pluto in a sextile. See, I'm trying to look at it in my head. And Neptune in a trine. Yes, that is correct. Yes, that is correct. Now, with Pallas moving from Scorpio to Sag, like I said, there's a little bit of a shift there. Pallas is really just helping us with these long-term aspects and seeing the bigger picture and the needed changes, right? But it's the way we're looking at things. It's the approach to those things. That's what Pallas is helping us with right now. And all the other stuff that I mentioned about communication and healthy relating, Pallas Athena is helping us here too, okay? So we're going from the lens of Scorpio, so to speak, harnessing emotional intelligence, intuition, and the ability to dig up truth and information where it has been inaccessible. That's what we have been dealing with. That's the lens, the tool, the navigational compass, if you will, that's been helping us navigate things and these, again, needed changes. And now we're moving into Sag, where it's similar because Sag is also very intuitive, right? Sag is like the sage, the intuitive fire sign in a way. So that is still there. But with Sag, Sag is more about accounting for the unaccounted. While Scorpio is about let's dig up the secrets and the corruptive bullshit and put the truth on the table, Sag is also very much about truth, right? But more like, let's account for what hasn't been accounted for. Let's account for what has not been considered that we all know is true, right? So it's a little bit different. It's about bringing in a higher mind to the table to resolve situations or to look at the truth of a situation, the complexity of a situation, especially around your own beliefs. This is what's going to help everybody as well when it comes to communicating with people and trying to meet people at the table. Because now there's going to be this ability of I see what you're saying. I can put myself in your shoes, but can you put yourself in my shoes? Let's try to go there, right? And it's like it just brings in again the bigger picture of things. So I think that's going to be really nice. Also, Sag also relates to travel as well, like multicultural implications. I don't think that's really important to mention here. Maybe it might come up in your life or in these situations, but I don't think it's going to be a thing for most people. I really think the important component of that Sag energy is let's really look at the big picture in a way that we have not been allowing ourselves to, right? And see what we come to and see what new insights we have, see what new beliefs we can have out of this as well. There's something else that wants to be said there. Oh, communication. Duh. Thank you. Sag is very blunt. Sag is very communicative. And so this is also going to help just more to open up more of those conversations and vocal channels and even the throat chakra a little bit there too. Okay. So yeah, that's all I wanted to mention about that. But that is all the astrology. We are going to get into collective and maybe groups, maybe potentially, maybe fill that out a minute. We're just going to get a little sip and then we're going to get back into it. I'm just looking at the comments. Muchas gracias for the likes. You're so loved. Yes, thank you guys for everyone who has liked the video so far. I really appreciate it. The candle reflecting in the frame behind you looks like a face with creepy eyes. I don't know why my brain thought you were gonna say it looks like twin flames, because it kind of does. Looks like two like dancing flames. I'm hooked on charm now. Thank you. You're welcome. You are so welcome. Anytime I can turn someone on to charmed and they're happy, totally lights up my heart. It's epic. It's an epic show. It just is. Just feeling things out. Yeah, we'll do collective. We'll start with collective and then we'll see how that feels. Okay. Okay. I've been good about the timestamps, but I have a feeling I might forget. So if I do, just try to catch my attention with the comments and I'll try to pay attention. Excuse me. Just feeling where to go. Okay. We're going to start with the Priestess of Light Oracle. All the decks that I use are linked below. A charmed themed pick a card? Is there a charmed deck? Is there? If there's a charmed deck, I gotta get my hands on that. If there's a charmed deck. Just saying. Charmed Watchers Unite, LOL. Oh, thank you, Crystal. Oh, thank you. Oh, that totally warmed my heart. Thank you. Oh, my. Any messages or insights for the collective for this week? So I'm being reminded of, okay, so they're making me stop. So I'm being reminded of something that came through in my meditation this morning, okay? I do try my best to stay on top of my morning practice and sit with spirit every morning. Sometimes it doesn't happen because, you know, life just be life in that way. But I was sitting in meditation and I was journaling and then I ended up pulling cards. And there was a card that came out from, where is it? Hold on a second. From this deck, from Alana Fairchild's Medicine Heart Oracle, which is definitely linked below. My new favorite deck, I gotta say. She is just amazing. But the card that came out, I'm not gonna remember the name. It was something of the Northwest, and it's the picture is like a half man, half zebra, and they're bringing that to my attention. So I'm thinking that what came through for me this morning is also collective and definitely worth sharing. And you know, is actually, now that I think about it, like a lot of themes in that particular card oh my God, I can't speak, does pertain to some of the collective stuff I've been talking about. With the zebra especially, zebra medicine is all about authenticity, wild, untamed self, but also being with other zebras. So just some of the examples that she gave, even the description, zebras, they're akin to donkeys and they're akin to horses. Right? Unicorns are coming in all of a sudden. Oh, interesting. Some of you guys might have a thing about unicorns or synchronicity about unicorns. I don't know. Unicorns are just coming in now. I guess technically they'd be in that family, even though they're technically like a mystical creature. But anyway, coming back. And when you look at horses and donkeys, they've been tamed, they've been domesticated, but no one's ever been able to domesticate a zebra. There have been attempts. We're not on a sign right now. We're doing collective read / channel messages, right? There have been attempts to tame zebras, domesticate zebras, and it just is not successful. It's almost like they can't be domesticated, they can't be tamed, they can't lose who they are, right? This is that medicine of zebra and what's coming through here. That would be me. I was thinking about zebras are like real life unicorns. They kind of are. They are kind of mystical with like even just the way they look, right? Even like the noises they make. They're kind of fascinating creatures. But anyway, coming back. So this notion of don't lose yourself, right? Don't forget who you are. And zebras also come with this medicine of friendship through the lens of a lone Fairchild, right? Not saying it's universal. This is just something she was speaking about, and I can understand what she was saying in her interpretation. Zebras, they really strike the eyes, right? It's like they have the striking black and white going on, right? And they really stick out. And so to actually survive, they are better off being with each other. They're better off being in a pack, but everyone's a zebra. No matter how different they are, unique they are, untamed they are, they're all in it together and they all accept each other and they all protect each other. And that is a true collective. And this is also something I've been saying now for maybe like at least a couple weeks, maybe. I don't know, time is weird, right? That a true collective is the sum of unique parts, the sum of truly unique individuals, and there is acceptance of those differences, right? And that's something that's just coming to mind here. But coming back to the friendship component, the other thing that was coming through with that card that I'm being reminded about to talk about now is, oh my God, Clyde is so cute. His little face. Anyway, sacred friendship and being your own friend first, right? When you are true to yourself and you are your own best friend, you can recognize the zebras from the horses and the donkeys, and the other zebras will see you, because the more you accept your stripes, the more you're going to stick out and the easier it is for other zebras to come and find your ass, right? Just, speaking symbolically. So that's what's coming through. That's what's coming through right now. But that being said, let's get back to cards here. Any messages or insights for the collective at this time? For this week, what can the collective expect for this week? Achievement. Interesting. Effort plus intention. I'm hearing staying true. 49 breaking down to a 4, by the way. 4 is all about stability, managerial sort of stuff, right? Foundations, if you will. Yeah, stay true. The white buffalo is coming through. Some of you may resonate with the white buffalo. What's her name? Oh, it doesn't matter. Anyway, some of you may have a personal synchronicity with the white buffalo. White buffalo is usually indicative of a time of a change of the era. Okay, it's a positive omen for positive change. But with effort plus intention, anything can happen. Anything can be cultivated and made manifest if your intentions are true. That's what they're really honing in on as we're talking about this. If your intentions are true, if they are true of the heart, right? This is also reminding me of ego versus the heart as well. If you want something just to stroke the ego or to make your ego calm down and be happy, it's probably not going to last very long, right? And that is like the way we look at achievement, is like striving to have a title or a label, or look how much money I have, or look how many followers I have, or whatever, right? True achievement comes from the soul and comes from the heart. because it facilitates true happiness, and it facilitates true joy, and it facilitates fulfillment, not a short-term ego stroke, right? It's like we've heard so many people talk about this, and even celebrities over time talk about this, where they accomplish something and then they want to the next and then the next and the next and the next, because they are empty egoic pursuits of accomplishment and achievement cultivated by expectations of society and programming of this is what achievement is, and once you achieve you'll be happy. But that's just not true. We know that's an illusion. We know it's an illusion. True achievement starts at the heart. It starts at the soul, right? And it does facilitate true joy and fulfillment, and that is true achievement in this life. So a lot to be said there, but let's get another card out here. Competition. So competition is also a big thing this week, due to some of the energies we've already talked about, but there may be a temptation there to get into competitive energies. That's feeding the ego, okay? That's getting into survival mode. That's getting into you versus them kind of bullshit. Just stay in your own lane, and if someone's trying to be competitive with you, or if someone's talking shit, that might happen this week. It's a reflection on them. It's not a reflection on you, right? It's a reflection on them, not on you. Stay true to your heart, stay true to your soul, and you can't go wrong. Anything else for the collective this week? White Buffalo Calf Woman, thank you. I was like, it's there. It's there. Thank you, Marcy. Thank you. I appreciate you. Can I get one more for the collective, please? Ooh, harvest, gather of blessings. Ooh, the 4s are coming out. 44, master number, which is the mastery of maintaining your own creations. Okay, is how I look at 4s, but that's just me. That's just my own lens here. Some of you may feel like you are reaching a point or a precipice of your own mastery. I feel like this has come through recently too, but I'm seeing it even just in the numerology. And the contrast, like the color contrast, is also jumping out at me too. When I say mastery, I mean like mastering awareness, mastering self, mastering the ability to create, cultivate, manifest, mastering the ability to maintain your creations and cultivations, mastering what it is to have personal freedom, like things like, levels of mastery is coming through here, and enjoying that. The Libra energy is really jumping out at me too for harvest. We are entering the harvest time. We are entering the fall season relatively soon, just a couple, 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how you look at it. Libra wants us to enjoy. Libra wants us to enjoy. Are you going to allow yourself? Are you going to find a way to do that in a healthy way? In a way where you don't feel guilty either. Yeah, where you also don't feel guilty. That's coming through as well. Some of you definitely are in a time where you have come full circle on something and you are enjoying the results, the fruits of your labor, of your work, your healing, the work you've done with others, the growth of certain relationships. And that's a beautiful thing. Some of you are very close to reaching that point. Yeah, so you're all in different places, obviously, but these are just the few things that are coming through initially here. Yeah, I'm gonna pull from another deck really quick, and then I think hold on, are we doing groups? We'll be doing groups again. Okay. But before we get there, I want to finish off the collective read with the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. Hold on. Caught Alive, where are we at? We're doing the collective read. We're finishing up the collective read. Especially with this old way, outdated way of achievement and achieving, right? You don't ever really get to enjoy the harvest. just coming back to that same lesson and theme that I'm feeling here. You don't ever get to really enjoy the harvest because then there you go, working on the next thing and the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And you never really get to sit down and enjoy it. This is sitting down and enjoying it. And again, this doesn't have to be like, you know, career related by any means. This could literally be like work you've been doing on yourself, like healing that you've been doing, closing a cycle. Like it doesn't have to be related to money and the material plane, but for some of you, it definitely is. Okay. It could even be emotional, right? As I say that, oh my gosh. Ace of Cups. As I say that, wait, someone mentioned Clyde. He's beautiful. I know, he so is. He's so cute. I saw a short maybe like sometime in the last month, and it was about cats because I gotta watch cat videos sometimes. It just makes me happy. Hold on. Reminder that it's almost playtime for him. And what was it titled? It was titled something like cats' ages. Like, you know how they say like, you know, dog years or 7 years to 1 human year or whatever, right? So that's what it started out being, but like it was really just a video about how adorable cats are. Like, oh, at 3 months, a kitten, they're still a baby, but then a year later, they're just kind of a bigger baby. And even when they're 12 years old, they're just a baby. Like it's literally just how they have evolved over time. And even just the way that our relationship to cats, okay, so I'm getting a little sidetracked. I could do a whole video on this. Because there's also lots of books written on this too, on evolution of cats and even dogs, like from like their wild stuff to their domesticated versions and the roles that humans have played in that, and just like the anthropological implications of that evolution of the evolutionary relationship. But anyway, cats in a way with humans, like we have evolved this connection to where they know how to get our attention, and the way like their eyes are and the way that they're like how soft they are and just the faces they make, it's like they do look babyish, and it does do something to our brains. It just makes us want to take care of them. But even their meows, right? Like kittens meow with their cat moms, right? Because they need to have that level of communication. But past that, they don't need to meow for shit. But cats continue to meow into adulthood purely for humans. Like purely. That is the only reason cats continue to meow into adulthood, is for human connection, which is kind of amazing and mind-blowing when you think about it. But anyway, this is not a cat video. Let's come back. So Ace of Cups coming out here. The Ace of Cups to me is the heart. It is allowing yourself to have a new emotional experience. It's allowing yourself to have a new path or new opportunity that really calls to your heart and your soul and makes you very happy. Also very aligned with what I was speaking about before, this achievement and harvest. All of this is empty if it's not coming from the heart, right? You can't enjoy life and enjoy true happiness if you're not working from your heart and soul. If you're working purely from the ego, it's gonna feel empty, right? Anything else for the collective this week? There's a, I'm hearing receive, 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 receive. Big lesson in receiving here for some people is being cemented. I can see that and I can feel that. The joys of receiving. Sorry, excuse me. Harvest time, autumn is a time to receive and enjoy. Nine of, not earth, fire. Don't know why I said 9 of earth. Maybe there's a secret 9 of pentacles energy going on here. 9 of fire. This is a card of resilience and a card of stamina. Sometimes it could be doing a little too much. I don't feel that. I actually feel motivated. I do. I feel motivation here. Yeah. Yeah. Like having such strong connection to heart and soul. Having such a strong connection to, how do I want to say this? It's like the way I'm feeling it like this, like a swelling of the heart, or just like the potency of the energy that comes from emotions, right? Almost understanding it, even like a fuel source, is motivating. It's bringing along with it a huge rise in vitality, but that might come later. The vitality portion, the feeling like ooh, like just full of life, definitely feels like it might come later. I'm not feeling it close. I'm not feeling it now. I'm feeling this. I'm feeling like there's a lot going on with getting really connected to the heart and the soul and working and operating from that place. Mars and Cancer is going to help with that. But the fire component, I feel like that's going to come later. Okay. Some of you, there's definitely some heart opening stuff going on. I was picking up that a lot with the signs that I did for the YouTube shorts. Um, yeah. Yeah, I feel like there's a full understanding of the power, not full understanding, a deeper understanding of the true force that is the heart and what can really happen when your heart is really invested in something. Anything can happen really, right? Like just think about certain times when you like had certain jobs or certain relationships or you just wanted to do something and when your heart was in it, you probably felt invincible. You probably felt like, oh my God, I got all the energy in the world. I don't need to stop for anything. I don't even need to stop to eat. Like, I don't know, maybe that's a Capricorn thing. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, that feels good though. That feels really good. Can I get one more for the collective, please? Yeah, some of you have been resisting some stuff going on with your heart. I can feel a little bit of that, like a little bit of pushback, and that's letting up. That's letting up a little bit here. Can I get one more, please? Woo. Am I taking these? No. All right. Fine. I just want one more. Thank you. Oh, funny. It's kind of sagey. Kind of sagey with wisdom. The bear is also peeking out here with the sage. This is totally the sage, which just reminds me of Virgo and even just Pallas moving into Sagittarius, right? It is the hermit that seeks out the light, that seeks out the truth after they go within and take some time to go within. This is all about learning to operate from within, no matter what is happening outside of you, and allowing that to motivate you, to drive you forward. Okay. Also, again, I am seeing that reflection on any sort of resistance or any sort of unnatural egoistic drive that has also been compromising the desires of the heart and working from the heart. I'm definitely seeing that too. And giving yourself allowance for joy, giving yourself allowance to enjoy the harvest of all that you've worked for. I can almost guarantee that, like, there's quite a few people where you have come full circle on a lot of things, or you have achieved certain things in your life. Maybe it is financial, maybe it's emotional, maybe it's spiritual, maybe it's socially, right? And you haven't really given yourself a moment to congratulate yourself for doing that, or you haven't given yourself a moment to just be like, wait a minute, holy shit, I did it. I am not that same person that I was 10 years ago or 20 years ago or whatever it is. And you know what? That is a really good thing. And you know what? I'm going to enjoy that for a hot minute, you know? Because we all came from somewhere and we all did something, you know, in our life. Even if it seems minor to others, maybe it's really major to you, right? I really like this. I like this a lot. I do. I feel like it's recognizing our own accomplishments and our own growth that we've had in our lives and enjoying the harvest of that, whatever those accomplishments and growths have been. Yeah, that's really nice. Don't mind me. Okay, we're gonna get into groups now. Now for groups, oh, that was weird. I thought something was crawling on my face. With the groups, I've had this happen before where people get confused on which group they should go with. Use your intuition, use your discernment there, okay? This is not like traditional pick a card readings. I just channeling. I'm just channeling, I'm just flowing, okay? Some people have told me they just like to watch them all. And as I get into it, I start getting information. You can use that as far as like trying to figure out or discern if it's really for you, okay? If that particular group that you're trying to look at. But let's get started. Actually, do I want to write them there? Yeah, I think that's okay. All right, we're going to start with group 1. Okay. Any messages or insights for group 1 this week? Actually, I think I need some blank paper. Yeah, that's gonna be more helpful. Okay. For group 1. Definitely feeling a primal energy with you, group 1. A lot of reds. Yeah, group 1. You could be facing your own frustration. I think most of you are dealing with frustration from external forces, and you're like trying to take the high road. Oh, I have it. Don't worry, I got the timestamp. Thank you. Appreciate you. I got it. Yeah, I'm just getting like a frustrated energy, but I feel like a primal stirring. It's like, so it's stirring a little bit of anger and irritation. Something about facial expressions. What is that? Micro expressions? Okay. Something about micro expressions. People could be giving themselves away in their micro expressions to you. Yeah, just pay attention to faces. There's something about like the primal animalness about you and maybe the people that you're dealing with. Okay. We're all animals at the end of the day. I always like to remind people of that. We are animals. People like to say, no, we're humans. It's like humans are animals. Like all these other living beings walking around on the planet, like we're not different than them. We're not. We might be cognitively different, but we be animals too. Okay. Anyway, there's something about the primal nature of you or another person, like, and aggravating the other person's primal nature. That's kind of what I'm getting. Yeah, and I'm getting like a stirring. And I just keep getting reds. Patience is going to help you a lot here. And I know when we say just bring love into it, I know it can sound cheesy and almost in a way like not tangible, like not cognitively or practically tangible. Just think about it in terms of the higher mind that I was speaking about earlier, where it is like a higher perspective, where it is practicing a little bit of emotional intelligence that we have been utilizing already up to this point, of recognizing when someone is in their animal. They're really in their inner animal. Yeah, and to navigate that accordingly. Like how would you navigate an angry animal in the same room as you, right? Who has a little bit of higher cognitive function. Like how would you navigate that? There's something about that, just like primal nature to primal nature. That's almost what I want to call this. Primal nature to primal nature. I'm also getting a bit of like a sexual energy too. Some of you could be meeting somebody at this time. Definitely watch them. Watch their behavior, watch their words. Again, people always tell on themselves, and believe who people are when they tell you, and have that be a reminder of who you are, okay? Because if you are meeting someone at this time, it's not well aspected to be a long-term relationship, just saying, or a long-term friendship, just with the energies that we have going on. If it's somebody new, like brand spanking new, not a nail in the coffin, it's just highly likely. And just watch it, because Mars being square Neptune can bring about a little bit more manipulative behavior, and that's just kind of what I'm picking up on. But on that point, let's go ahead and pull some cards for group 1, starting with the Power of Elements Oracle for group 1. Yeah, it does. It just feels like animal looking at another animal. That's what I'm getting. So again, it could be very sexual and primal. It could be confrontational. I just feel like you gotta make sure you're really observant. Make sure you're really watching people and watching yourself. Not in a paranoid way. Just be aware. Just be aware. Okay. Can I get a card for group 1, please? Oh, Emily, thank you. Just want to say thank you. Well, you're welcome. And thank you for the $4.99. Thank you. I appreciate it. Any messages or insights for group one? Yeah, I keep getting this feeling of like you're watching them and they're watching you. It's not quite a stare off or standoff, but you're both watching each other. I can feel that. Maybe you're both reading each other. Creation, believe in your creation. So we have an earthy energy coming out here. So what I'm feeling here with this like primal nature to primal nature, I think it's just something going on around you. But with this card coming out with focusing on how you use your own creative energy, which is sexual energy too, I want to say be mindful of who you share that with and who you allow to have access to information as far as like how you're using your own creative energy or your sexual energy. And if you are having a sexual encounter, just be aware of how you are using your sexual energy with another person, right? So much to say about that. I feel like that's a whole other video in and of itself. But yes, you have the card of creation here. Okay. I feel like it's all about your primal nature. Completely. I do. Completely. Let's go ahead and pull some animal cards from the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck for group one. It's funny because I was getting reds too. Like lots of reds. Look at all that red. Even though it's an earth card. Any messages or insights for the group one this week? For group one. Mind your business is what I want to say with Camel. Also a fire card coming out here. Hold on a second. Camel's very resourceful. Camel's very resourceful, and also they can be fairly independent. They're really good at just like focusing on the task at hand, making sure they got all their things in order. I keep getting this vibe with you, group one, of try your best to not get pulled in by other people or people who are paying too close attention to you, okay? Stay focused on you. Stay focused on your own vibe, the things that are making you feel really like strong and feeling really good and feeling really creative and playful. Like stay in that good place and just be aware of anybody who's really watching you. Or who wants some of your energy, especially your sexual energy. There's something about that doesn't feel right. Can I get another card, please, for group one? Yeah. Sea serpent, the sexual energy. That's exactly what, just primal sexual life force energy coming out of you here. Yeah, just stay focused on you. Honestly, that's what I want to keep saying. Stay focused on you and what feels good and how you are exercising your own creative, sexual, playful energy. Some of you are getting very organized too, with maybe just certain passion projects you got going on. Some of you could be wanting to make a lot of space for just really fun experiences, like maybe going dancing or doing artwork or whatever, right? Enjoy that. And if anyone gets a little too intrigued or interested, I'm not saying say no to them, just be aware. Just don't be so willing to give them some of your energy. It just there's a vibe here that I'm not loving. All right, I'm gonna get one more and then I'll move into the Fae. One more for group one, please. I keep feeling like some of you may have experiences this week socially for group one where like they're trying to convince you or something. Like there's something kind of icky about it. Like they're reading you, they're watching you, they want something from you. They may try to convince you that maybe you can't do something on your own, or like they might try to convince you that like they got something good in store for you, whatever that means. I don't know. Something about it doesn't feel right. Can I get one more for group one, please? Yeah. Oh, spirit is on you. Spirit be on you. We have Hawk. Hawk is being divinely guided and led. Hawk is basically my card for spirit guide alert. Like spirit is all over you. Spirit has got your back and spirit is trying to lead you in a certain direction. So yeah, I do think there's like some weird funky energies and forms of people around you. And spirit's like, no. And even your own intuition, you're like, yeah, I don't know. So yeah. Just, I like that confirmation. And again, whatever feels good as far as how you are being playful or experiencing joy and fun or creativity or just, working on things you've been wanting to cultivate or passion projects, it feels really well aspected. So just do that. And like I even said before in the astrology portion, a lot of really positive aspects for doing solo projects. Okay. All right. So let's get into the Fae. See what the Fairies Oracle has to say for group 1. One more. This one really wanted to be shuffled for you. Okay. Any other messages or insights for group 1, please? Whoa, that was fast. Dominus Gloom. He's kind of a shadow fae. See how he's kind of down and he's kind of sad. 56 breaks down to an 11. I just feel like someone's going to try to manipulate you, or guilt trip you or gaslight you. I got to be honest. That's just what I'm getting. With Dominus Gloom, I feel like there is a character trying to pull on your heart, or just just trying to pull on you. And I feel like it's emotional manipulation or trying to convince you of something, and I don't like it. But also what I'm getting is, for some of you, there may be some sad emotions or heavy emotions that you have been working through. And I think creativity or a creative outlet is exactly what the doctor ordered, to work through some of that, especially if you start doubting yourself. And if you start doubting yourself because of whatever someone else said, no, that is a huge red flag to me. Especially, I feel so bad about this right now, especially if it's because of what someone else is doing or saying. With the energies we got going on this week, no, just no. I mean, I've been feeling some weird shit with people with you, with group 1, the whole reading that we've had for you right now. Just no. So if anyone's making you doubt yourself, gaslight you, question yourself, that is a huge indication to listen to your own intuition and maybe take some solo time and definitely get into something creative or playful or fun, even if it's just going out for a night, or again, painting or cooking or hanging out with a friend, something fun and playful and enjoyable. And I think you're going to quickly, very quickly turn around in your energy if you're feeling that. All right. All right, let's get a little bit more. I just keep getting gaslighting and doubts. That's what I keep getting. Gaslighting and doubts, gaslighting and doubts, gaslighting and doubts. Got no patience. I feel like this card is confirming it, group 1. Oh, do I still have my... Oh, no, I put them away. Because I was doing the shorts earlier, I had my Zodiac dice out, and I thought, it'd be fun to roll them, actually, for the groups. But actually, I guess I could always get up and go get them. I guess I could. I don't have to be lazy. But the Friends card. I hate to say it, it's one of those readings, group 1. You got someone who's trying to convince you, and they may be trying to be your friend, and maybe you do consider them to be a friend. Something about this does not feel right to me. I gotta be honest. And pay attention to how you feel. Pay attention to, again, their words, their facial expressions, their body language, pay attention. Energy doesn't lie. I just feel like you got someone who's trying to pretend to be in your corner, and they're not. Literally, the Friends card came out. We might as well have a false person card, coming out on top of this, that's all I gotta say about that. I feel like there's more I could say, but I feel like it's just things you guys already know. It's things you guys have already learned, how do you feel when you walk away from a conversation with somebody? Do you feel drained? Do you feel good? Do you feel happy about yourself? Do you feel good about yourself? Or do you feel somehow smaller? Like, do you somehow feel more insecure in whatever weird ass way? Do you have a person or people that make weird jokes or at your expense or make fun of you or question you, but it's all playful because it's just jokes. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, I just don't like it. I really don't like it. Let me get one more. Can I get one more for group one? All we need is like the I can't even remember his name, but there is a card in this deck, a Shadow Fae, that's basically like the narcissist card. If that comes out, that is like final confirmation. I gotta say. Anything else for group one? Let's see. You got 3 cards. I do feel like this is confirmation. So we have the gotcha card, a shock and surprise, right? Not always good, with the soul shrinker. Criticism, judgment, poisonous words. The person that comes in and tries to suck away your life energy, or the person that comes in and tries to criticize you. Like, I feel like this is going to be very obvious to you that someone is just a no-no, okay? It's a no-no. And then we have Singer of Initiation. You could be, I feel like you're ending an initiation. I gotta be honest. I feel like you're actually ending an initiation that coincides with some difficult like situations in terms of relationships and how much you maybe buy into what other people are saying or follow what other people are saying or just have become affected by other people or maybe even get sucked into certain relationships. But yeah, I feel like this is marking the end, of an initiation cycle. I don't think you're being initiated in. I think you're being initiated out is what, that feels like to me. Also, I'm noticing 46 and 64. I feel like there's something with your intuition here too. I feel like deep down you know this already. Like deep down you know the truth about this. I don't think this is someone brand new. I'd be shocked if they were brand new. Just with the way the cards have come out, the way the energy's feeling, I think this is someone who's been around. And maybe even it's a group of people. Maybe some of you it's family, right? I feel like deep down you know already. And there's something occurring this week that seems to be not a confrontation, but an encounter, an interaction. And you see it. You just finally see what you need to see. And Spirit's like, yeah, we got your back though. So you ready to be done? You ready to be out of there? Like, it's got those vibes. All right, let's pull some tarot cards and we'll wrap this up. Not all our moms, we freaking soul suckers, everyone. Sorry. No, it's true. Some people have amazing moms and some people don't, But I do feel like most of you, this is like an ally or a friend or a coworker. I think there's probably some of you, this is like a family situation. I think most of you, this is like allyship, is what I want to say, or acquaintances or something like that. Any messages or insights for group one? Yeah. 4 of Wands coming out here. You're very focused on this. I feel like it's almost representing your container in a way. 4 of Wands can literally be like representing a foundation or a household or walking into some sort of like through a threshold or a gateway into something new. But it usually comes with something very solid, okay? And that's what you're focused on. That's what you're focused on. Anything else for group one? Yeah, I also want to say this is like something you're even cultivating. Some of you are trying to cultivate very solid relationships or solid like home situation or just a solid foundation for you to build your life upon. Healthy, solid, unshakable. That's where you're trying to put your energy into. Anything else for group one? I can feel group two coming in. Hold on. Always happens. Always happens. Anything else for group one? Go on. Yeah, ooh, I like it. I like it. Yeah, I think you're gonna be just fine. We have Emperor right here. I feel like Emperor is like, actually this came through in the Virgo reading too. Um, where we had of one of the fake cards was like in front of the gates, like almost blocking the gates, but I feel like this is actually you protecting your own gates. This is you protecting your future. This is you protecting your container, your life, your joy, your energy field, however, whatever it is you're cultivating, however you want to look at it, you're solidly looking out for it. So yeah, I'm not too worried about you guys. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna fall for this. Anything else for group one? Interesting. Seven of Cups coming out here. So Seven of Cups might come out a lot this week just because of the nature of Mars square Neptune, of that like confusion and illusion and that sort of deal, right? I think they might try to spin stuff at you and you might go, I don't know. I'm like not feeling right about it. It definitely feels like that, almost like getting hit with like a web of a lot of different thoughts and a lot of different feelings. But either way, I don't think you're backing down. I don't think you are allowing yourself to be disempowered in any way, shape, or form. So I think you're just navigating the week's energy just fine. I want to get one last card and then we'll move on to group two. One last card, please. Just the level of confirmation. Look who's on the other end of the Seven of Cups, the Page of Swords. He's like, yeah, everything I was feeling, just this is just confirmation. Page of Swords can be somebody who is a little quick with their tongue and a little quick with, like, very quick-witted is what I want to say. Also somebody who does like to debate and likes to nitpick words and things like that. But the page is kind of naive because they don't have the mastery of a king. Hold on a second. There's so many beverages around me. I am a drinks goblin. I just kind of am. Anyway, that's what they do. They like to pick little nitpick holes and stories and spin webs and thoughts, lots of ideas, lots of stories, lots of thoughts. And they're spinning the Seven of Cups. And maybe they have like spider energy. So they keep getting like the term spinning, 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 spinning. They're spinning a lot of things and they're throwing it at you to confuse you. And I do think potentially to manipulate you, but you're an emperor. It's just like, it's almost the same as like a 5-year-old to like a 60-year-old. Like that's not gonna penetrate. That's not gonna like, it's not gonna knock an emperor off their throne. You know what I mean? So I think you're fine. I think you're totally fine. Man, people are something, huh? Right? People are something. Are we gonna get a lot of reads like that? I hope not. All right, let's get into group two. It's like petty bullshit. It's like all it was petty bullshit. Okay, anyway. Moving on. All right, group two, what's going on with you? Oh, very different energy. Almost feel like maybe polar opposite. Like group one, it felt like you were very like deep into the 3D plane of needing to deal with this kind of bullshit. Group two, I feel like you are very removed. I almost feel like you're like literally the opposite. What kind of bird is this? I'm getting strong like avian energy. Maybe this is swan. I feel like that came out sometime too in the last couple weeks. But yeah, birds are really big for group two. You could be seeing a lot of birds. Maybe you work with certain bird medicine. Yeah, group two, I feel like you are relatively removed and you're very contained. I feel like you're probably in like a Queen of Swords kind of energy is what I would say. And you're just observing. You're observing, but you're flying. Hold on. I don't feel like you're stagnant at all. It's like sometimes when we are like in observant mode and we're like kind of like just really within or really contained, sometimes it can feel a little stagnant. I don't feel like you are. I feel like you are doing things. I feel like you're actually very active at this time. but you're also very contained in yourself and contained in your energy, and your bird's eye view is on. Okay, you're just very aware and you're very alert. Yeah. But you're moving. I can feel it. There's something very dynamic about your energy. Yeah, you're moving and grooving though. You are very much staying in your lane. That's for sure. Up in the sky, away from other people, is how that feels. But that's just what I'm getting with you. But let's go ahead and pull some cards for group 2. Any messages or insights for group 2? Some of you could be maybe a little closer to your golden years, not necessarily, but some of you are. Some of you definitely are. I'm hearing acceptance. Like there's an acceptance of your elderly wisdom is how I want to. Oh my God, he's so adorable. Do you know how cute you are? He does. He absolutely does. Anyway, yeah, there is an acceptance of your elderly wisdom. Some of you are also just accepting that you're getting older, no matter what age you are, okay? No matter what age you are, and also understanding the beauty of that, because with age comes wisdom, right? The cost of beauty is ignorance, right? Right? Just being honest, that's just how life goes, right? That's just how life goes. Yeah, I can feel it. You're reflecting a lot in your life, group 2. Just grateful for not falling into certain pitfalls is also what I'm getting to. Making peace with maybe not having certain experiences because they actually would have put you in maybe not such a great place. I'm also getting that too. Like maybe some of you missed out on certain like milestones, expected milestones. Like maybe you never got married. Maybe you never had kids. Maybe you never bought a house. But also realizing like there's a silver lining of that too. The older you are, the more you know, right? And the more you know yourself. Yeah, there's definitely an appreciation of age with you. Interesting. Okay. Very specific for group 2. Very specific. Any messages or insights for group 2? Any messages or insights for group 2? I feel like something is tying you to group 3 because group 3 just waved in really quick and I was like, whoa. Wait your turn. Yeah, I think you're going to be tied to group 3, but let's stay focused on group 2 here. Maybe this is also why you're containing yourself. There could be some disruptive energies that are trying to throw you. This is clearly a theme for this week. But the way you carry yourself and hold yourself, it's not happening. But I do feel like some of you may have even physically removed yourself in some way, shape, or form. Not like to get away from anything, but to move towards something. Yeah. So it's just as a consequence of that move or that action. Some of you could be moving, actually. Some of you could be moving. Any messages or insights? Maybe you could be traveling too. Yeah, I'm just getting like, you're very focused, you're very centered, and you're very clear on how you want to navigate the world and what's important to you. And whatever choices you are making and or have made recently are putting you in a certain path and certain direction away from certain things that definitely want to throw you off or can be very disruptive to you. And you're just not having it. Any messages or insights for group 2? Group 2, this is a really interesting reading. I'm excited to pull some more cards for you. We have inner secrets. All of you is worthy. Some of you could have moved into, again, this level of appreciation for yourself. That definitely comes through with this card. But to be honest, I feel like you're actually, because of the level of awareness and gratitude you have for yourself, you are also very aware that you do not want to be sharing yourself either. I'm also getting that. Very interesting. And that's part of how you contain yourself. Huh. Okay. Let's get some animal cards out here. love this cat. Any other messages or insights for group 2? Any other messages or insights for group 2? Oh, I just got a really bad neck pain. Hi, Catherine. Oh, that's too many. Any other messages or insights for group 2? Yeah, you're keeping a lot of things close to your chest and not in a way where you're like, it's not safe, I don't trust you. It's not that. It's just recognizing the value of your heart. It's interesting because that kind of came through in the collective read too with the Ace of Hearts. Ace of Hearts. Ace of Water. Interesting, I said Ace of Hearts though. Because you recognize the value of what is, oh, I got disconnected. Because you recognize the value of what is in here, you're not just willy-nilly going to open that up for anyone to have access to. Oh, sorry guys, I need a sip of water. Yeah, and certain relationships, the good relationships, they take time to build. They take time to cultivate, right? And people who are of integrity and people who are worth it, they're going to put in that same investment. Look, we got a bird coming out for group 2. Owl. Owl is very psychic and very intuitive and is very high priestessy. Usually comes out when there are good things on the horizon, right? But again, you got your eyes on. You got your bird's eye on. Like, and it just is what it is. You're aware of your value, you're aware of what you want, and you're aware of where you're going, and also what you're leaving behind, but you're not even focused on it. So you can be focused on the present and the direction that you're heading. Yeah. Oh, This is going to be a crazy week. I feel like by the end, I think we're all going to have some stories. It's just the feeling I'm getting, okay? It's just the vibe. Fire ant. Fire ant is an aggro energy. It is like a 5 of wands, irritated as shit. I am uncomfortable. I'm getting angrier by the minute kind of energy. Some of you could have been working through this within yourself recently, but I keep feeling it's more of an external experience. Like, you're aware of energies that are not happy with you. You're aware of people that maybe are not happy with you, and you're just containing yourself because you know your value, you know your worth, and you know your own wisdom, and it is what it is. And I feel like you're just getting away from the fire and energy. I feel like this is energies that want you to compete, and you're not having it because you don't need to compete. You're an owl. You don't need to compete for shit. It's not your style. But again, I do feel like some of you may have been working through some of your own self-worth stuff and self-esteem stuff as of recently. Some of you, maybe that's happening now. Everybody's in a different boat, so to speak, as far as their journeys are concerned. But I could see that. I could see that where you have moved into this next level of just feeling empowered by who you are and loving it, right? And so some of you may have had to overcome some shame, some maybe negative self-talk about yourself and some insecurities, but I feel like I'm tuning into people who have done it already. But if you're still in it, you got some things to look forward to. Can I get one more, please, for group 2? Can I get one more for group 2? Am I taking these? Yeah. Wow. Yeah, you've done some work, group 2. My goodness. Look at that. We got the Whale and Scorpion and Phoenix. I feel like you have left a lot of very deeply seated things in the past. I'm looking at somebody who's had major spiritual evolution and growth here. Whale is like the great mystery. It is very Piscean. It is also about the subconscious and just the spirit, generally speaking. It's a very soft, gentle energy. Phoenix, as you guys know, root chakra, but it also represents birthing and literally like a phoenix rising kind of a moment. But Scorpion comes out when we are needing to let go of things that are affecting us emotionally, like grudges and things that we're emotionally connected to. And I feel like you have needed to work through some things that maybe you do have some resentments about, but you've done it. You've done it, and your spirit is better off for it, and you are better off for it, and you are heading in a really awesome direction, and you have your discernment, you have your wisdom, you have your confidence, you know who the hell you are, and no one's going to take that away from you, even if people want to try, Okay. And again, there may be some people that are resentful towards you at this time or want to compete with you or pull you into that. Especially if they're people that you have recently gotten away from or almost like cut ties with or like stopped enabling certain patterns or even like trauma responses with. They may be a little irritated with you. All right. Let's get into the Fae. Just looking at the comments. Anything else for group 2? Group 3 is going to be a doozy. I can already feel it. Any messages or insights for group 2? And this is also very similar to group 1. Yeah. Oh, very nice. You got the RAR card. This is just like 8 of Wands, intense, fast-moving energy. There's no stopping you. And that's what I was getting. It's like you're moving and grooving and you're in a very dynamic place and you're doing shit. And there's really no stopping you because you're clear, you're focused, you're centered, and you're living life. And there's no stopping you. And you're feeling very empowered by yourself. Really? Hold on a second. Why are you out here? God, the way the messages are coming through today. So we have the Feline. Feline normally is a card that comes out when it's like, hey, pay attention because you haven't taken care of everything. And maybe that's the case. Maybe. I don't think so, though. If anything, I feel like, again, this is like external bullshit. Like people side-eyeing you. I do. I feel that. Like judging. I feel like someone's judging you. I feel like people will be judging you. They got no business judging you. That's what I'm getting. Almost like you owe them something. That's kind of what I'm feeling. Yeah, like you owe them something. So crazy messages today. Anything else for group 2? Just keep your eyes on. Keep your eyes on, your bird's eye on. Keep looking forward. Yeah, master maker. You're fine. You're fine. 22, a master number. Master maker comes out. It's kind of like an 8 of Pentacles energy and very Saturnian to me personally. It's basically like you're mastering. You are either literally creating something and cultivating something and becoming a master at it, or you are also going through experiences that are turning you into a master of a certain skill. Okay. And I feel like with you, it's the skill of staying focused and centered and contained, and not feeding the bullshit and just maintaining yourself, right? Knowing how worthy and valuable you are and not compromising that for anyone. And also not just like giving away your energy and your emotions and your information and blah, 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 just because someone thinks that they're entitled to it. Yeah. Okay. Get some tarot cards out here and then we'll do group 3. Man, it got dark. It got very dark outside. Any other messages or insights for group 2? Reading 3, it gets dark outside. I know there's something with group 3. Don't be worried. Don't be scared. Might not even be for you, right? Any other messages or insights for group 2? Oh my God. Oh, that's the first card. 10 of Swords. Okay, I do. I feel like you have like cut ties with a certain situation or people. I absolutely do. Some of you could have left a job or a household or a relationship. It's like that's what I'm getting. Like there has been a finality to something and you have liberated yourself. You've liberated yourself because you deserved it and you were worthy of it. and you deserved more, you deserved better. That's what I'm getting. Your soul needed it too. Anything else for group 2? And if you haven't done this yet, it's coming up. Anything else for group 2? Yeah, wow. Emperor coming out again. 10 of Swords, Emperor, 6 of Wands, and the Page of Cups. You did this with authority, you did this with confidence, and it was exactly what you needed to do. It was exactly what you needed to do. I feel like these people are interpreting it like you beat them at something, or you won, or something, and it's just like, that's an ego mindset, right? That is the competitive, egotistical mindset. Like, no, you're just doing you. You're just doing you. I don't even think it has anything to, like, what you chose to do, I don't think has much to do with these people or this person, but that's how it's being perceived. Like, you won, or you beat them, you got away, or whatever. Any other messages or insights for group 2? 7 of Wands. Can you clarify the 7 of Wands, please? 7 of Wands is a fighting energy. It's also standing up for oneself too, but it's a fight energy. Tell me more about 7 of Wands for group 2, and then we're going to move on to group 3. Oh man, yeah. I mean, I knew this week's energy was a little crunchy and janky, but I didn't expect the reads to be quite like this. Look at this. 7 of Wands, 9 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands, and 10 of Wands. I feel like these energies just want to beat you because they have that mindset of, they beat me. They got one over on me, or whatever, you know, or they're doing better than me. And they just want to fight. They just want to fight. They just want to compete. That's unfortunate. Well, like I said, you guys are fine. So, not worried about you. Just live your life and enjoy your life and the decisions you're making, because it's clearly working for you. And if anybody tries to get all up in your business, that's their problem. Group 3. Group 3, why am I scared? I'm not scared. I'm a little nervous. I can feel a little anxiety, group 3. Interesting, your timestamp too. 20220 for group 3. All right. What's going on for group 3? So Spider is very strong for you, group 3. And that creeped in a little bit to group 1. And so, yeah, there's definitely always overlap with the groups just because we are a collective. So there's going to be overlap no matter what readings you watch. But yeah, I'm getting Spider very strong. Spider is actually normally about co-creation, right? Weaving the web, if you will. But there's a shadow to everything. Okay, there's a shadow to everything. Spider is also kind of magician-like in a way, because they can alchemize, they can bring things together, they can also transmute, and I am getting a little bit of a magician energy, but the intentions are unclear. Intentions are unclear. Something feels like something is striking really fast. Almost maybe like a tower, or something catching you off guard, something unexpected. There's something unexpected going on, group 3, in relation to you. Something also feels very scattered about your energy. Even the way the messages are coming in, it's very like peace-like. Like when messages come in through me for you, it's a flow, and it's not to be all cheesy, but it's kind of like a song. It's like, oh, there's the first line, and there's the second line, oh, and there's the chorus, and there's the fluctuation. It's like, that's how it feels when messages come through, and this feels scattered. And sometimes when that happens, it's an indication that the group that I'm reading for is scattered or dealing with scattered energy and is not very grounded. Okay. I think grounding will help you with whatever you're dealing with here, because I feel like you need to get balanced and clear first. But I do feel like there's a sudden onset, unexpected occurrence or event happening for you. So I'm gonna get a little deeper into your reading here. Yeah, it feels like being blindsided. Is this in a good way? Is it a shocking? I can't stop seeing spiders. Like, I can't stop seeing spiders for you. I'm hearing just adapt. Just adapt. Just adapt. There's a little bit almost of like you'd benefit from staying on your, oh, I'm getting fox now. Yeah, staying on your toes. Staying on your toes. Fox is coming through. Fox can be very helpful energy. Very trickstery. Yeah, find the humor in this. Okay. Yeah, find the humor in the unexpected. Find the humor in the unexpected and adapt to the unexpected. Work with the unexpected. Yeah, very trickster, kind of sacred cloud energy coming through for group 3. All right, I feel like I'm ready to pull some cards for you guys. I might even use different decks for you. Oh shit, damn it. Just spilled my water everywhere. Oh well, it's water, it'll dry. I'll deal with it after. Okay. Yeah, I think Beautiful Creatures wants to play. What about Power of Elements? Yes, okay. All right, group 3. Let's do it. Let's do it. This is a long weekly. I didn't expect this one to be so long. You didn't let that bother you. Oh, the spilling? I spill things all the time. It's just water. It's cool. And YouTube keeps bringing up old videos. Oh, really? Oh, how interesting. All right, group 3. Any messages or insights for group 3? Yeah, the fox. The fox feels really comforting for you. Something about that fox energy. Maybe you've worked with fox before. You could even have a fox person in your life that could be a nice support at this time. Because it's got a little bit of like leading you, guiding you, mentoring you in it, possibly. It feels good. It feels really good. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Any messages or insights for group 3? Value yourself. Spend time nurturing you. Well, that is definitely the theme of the week, is it not? Right? Definitely is the theme of the week. Don't lose yourself. Remember who you are. So valuing yourself is coming through. I kind of want to get a second one on that. Because I feel like the fox is also reminding you, like, don't take life so seriously. Be playful, be joyful. Whatever this unexpected thing is in relation to spider, I just get weird vibes. I just get weird vibes from it. It could be some weird tower, some weird unexpected news that could potentially put you in a down mood. But Fox is like, hey, don't take shit serious. Just take care of you. Expression. Ooh, express your truth. I still don't get a full picture here, group 3, but I think we're about to get one. Whatever the unexpected thing is, it may feel like something is getting ruined. It may feel like you're even losing something or something is falling apart. But remember the joy, remember the laughter. Laugh at life, laugh at your shortcomings, laugh at the crazy shit that we all experience, right? You may even like start really getting into like just watching a lot of stand-up if something does happen, just to like put you in that space, because that's also the kind of the vibe I'm getting. I don't know if any of you are aspiring comedians, but I'm also getting that feeling too here. And recognize what you do need and how to give it to yourself. Yeah. 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 Okay. Animals. Let's get into the animals. Any messages or insights for group 3? Yeah, if something crazy does happen, just laugh at it. Okay? Really, I'm being so serious while this is coming through. Like, find the humor and the comedy in the crazy shit of life. Like, Laughter is the best medicine for you this week, okay? Any messages or insights for group 3? Am I taking these? Yeah? Okay. We do have a spider, too, in the cards that just came out. You might be having a course correction. This might be why you need to just find the humor and joy in it. So we have bat with tarantula. So more spiders coming through. There is also a spider card. So we have 2 spider cards, but you only have the 1 so far. Tarantula is a tense energy. It's like tension is being created, a crossroads, confusion, a push-pull, like something doesn't feel super great. But with bat, it is indicating that you need to see something that you haven't seen before. Like something is going to be made clear to you. And I do feel like something about it feels very unexpected and just kind of out of the blue and a little shocking. And I feel almost a little bit of like being stunned. And I think that's coming through with tarantula. And the spirit is just saying adapt. Adapt and find the humor and find the joy in some unexpected twists of life. And I do feel course correction here or detour. And I do think it is to your benefit, even if it doesn't seem like it now, okay? Because what we have coming out after, we have 2 chakra cards, or chakra cards, Dragon and Cosmic Egg. Solar plexus, confidence, self-esteem, believing in yourself, right? And then Cosmic Egg is the crown, faith, even love, and even intuition. Cosmic Egg comes out when we are reaching a pinnacle of our own personal development. Dragon also comes out as a masculine force, but also as a force of seeing through illusions and seeing through the dark and seeing through ego. Specifically, it speaks of that in the deck. So no matter what unexpected change is happening, embrace it, because it's probably working out in your favor in the long run. And then we have Stingray. Stingray is my King of Cups card. It is a card of emotional and spiritual strength. It's very much like primordial divine masculine energy. Like no matter what happens, you are so solid within yourself that you can navigate and adapt just fine. So coming full circle, no matter what change or shift is happening for you, and no matter how on edge you get or scared you get, just remember life is crazy. And don't lose faith in yourself. Recognize what you need in navigating this, but also see the silver lining, see the good that it's bringing, and also see the clarity and truth that it's bringing too. And if this is being induced by another person, just see through their games, just see through their bullshit and see them for who they are, what they are, and have that be a reminder of who you are, okay? All right, let's get into the Fae. Hold on, I'm just gonna watch this water. Make sure it's not traveling to my notebooks. Okay. Any messages or insights for group 3? Anything else for group 3? I keep feeling like an art form, a comedy keeps coming through really strong, like stand-up comedy, like specifically keeps coming up. There's some sort of art form that I think will help you through this as well. And I said that even in the astrology portion, that if you encounter any like confusion at this time, confusing thoughts or feelings, like having a creative outlet will help you like sort some of that stuff out. But I know it sounds crazy, but I am feeling stand-up comedy specifically. Maybe take an improv class, or maybe just go to a comedy night. Or maybe even start dabbling in an art form where you get to express yourself, right? Like vocally. Yeah, there is definitely some trickster energy afoot for you. Lace, the moon's daughter, 38 breaking down to an 11. So she does come with the energy of the moon. Today is the new moon. But she's kind of trickstery and playful in a way where she will show you things in the dark and in the night. Kind of like the bat with the moon too. But not everything. But not everything. Not everything. And she is playful and she is cheeky, but she does keep you on your toes. And I can feel that you're on your toes here. Like there's something a little edgy and anxious about your reaction in response to what's happening here, okay? She's not going to show you everything. This is also why your faith is very important. anything else for group 3. But definitely there is something being revealed to you that maybe is not super pleasant. Okay. Oh my God, the trickster energy is crazy. Oh, that gnome. He is a straight up trickster, literally. He is a straight up trickster. He also is chaos. He is literally the agent of chaos, which actually ties into this new moon very well, which again, I talked about on the video for the new moon on Vimeo and Patreon. But chaos, the being an agent of order or chaos, is something that's on the docket for this new moon in this week. And I'm seeing that here with Oh, that gnome. So again, no matter what chaos is happening in or around you, I feel like it's external. It might scare you, it might freak you out, it might even give you a little bit of like paralysis because you're stunned. But it will be enlightening, and it is a playful kind of shakeup to put you in a new direction. I feel that it is to get you to move a different way, to see something differently, and to get you out of something too. Did I catch the live? Yes, you're at the tail end of it though. And then we have He, the fiery sword. A lot of masculine energy in your reading. A lot of masculine energy, which the masculine force helps us to feel safe, right? Helps us to feel protected and helps us to feel like we can stand up for ourselves and we can look out for ourselves. There is that component here of lean into that part of you to adapt and to also, again, don't take life so seriously, but remember that you do have the skills to navigate this. That's also part of the collective energy too. But He of the fiery sword, again, divine masculine energy. Don't know if I said that. This is ejecting you from something, but it's necessary. It feels necessary. And chaotic, but necessary. All right, getting into tarot. Oh, I pulled beautiful creatures out. Should I go with beautiful creatures? They said I don't have to. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm already shuffling. Did we do groups? Yes, we're on the final group. We're on the final group. Any other messages or insights for group 3? This is also showing you what you're capable of too, honestly. It doesn't feel fun, it doesn't feel great, but it's gonna show you how adaptable you are, how capable you are of dealing with difficult situations and dealing with chaos. And again, the reminder of play and joy. We have Knight of Pentacles, very solid energy. This is a card of loyalty, trust, predictability, dedication, commitment, all of that. It's usually like a gatekeeper, like a right-hand man. Very reliable. I feel like this is like a state that you have been in leading up to this, okay? Just you feel very solid. You feel like life may be very predictable and very solid, and you made it that way is what I'm gathering. This is Virgo energy. And you made it that way. I'm curious to see how you're going to evolve, because I feel like by the time I pull all the cards out here, you're going to be a different card. Maybe you'll be the Knight of Wands. I don't know. We'll see. But I feel like you have been here, maybe even playing it a little too safe. Maybe. Maybe being a little too strict and too rigid and too safe with certain situations, or just how you navigate life. I feel like this version of you is getting shaken. I don't want to say to the core, but maybe some of you to the core. Any other messages or insights for group 3? Yes, sturdy. Yeah, this needs to be broken up. 10 of Wands and the Page of Pentacles. 10 of Wands is kind of reaching the end of your ability and bandwidth to maintain something or to keep putting energy into something. And then we have the Page over here. Excuse me, hold on. Did I have any left? I got a little left, hold on. Spilled my water earlier. Doing this, maintaining this way of being, of playing it safe, building stuff in a super solid way in your life, solid foundations, almost like faulty proof is what I'm getting to, like trying to build systems or, just certain ways of doing your life or certain foundations or the way you work, the way you take care of yourself in a way where you have been playing it too safe and you've almost been too rigid about it and you haven't had a whole lot of bandwidth for malleability is really what I'm getting with all of this, to the point where something does have to give. Something is not sustainable here, even though technically the Knight of Pentacles is about sustainability and that was your objective. You've actually created something that's not sustainable because it's too rigid. It's too safe. Too predictable. It almost feels like a rock, like when I tune into whatever this is about. This could be about your work life, your home life. It could literally just be about your own like routines, and like your money situation could literally just be about stuff like that. Like you just don't allow for any change or any new ways of doing or any spontaneity is what I'm getting there. This is what needs to be shaken up. So you actually do need this. You do need this. All right, anything else? Some of you, yeah, interesting, Hierophant. I was going to say some of you have been taking care of someone. Some of you have a child. Some of you may have be, I don't know what that is. Some of you may have been taking care of, almost like, I don't want to say like a cousin, which is kind of strange. There's a caretaking energy here, no matter which way you cut it and however that's coming through for you. And I do feel like there's an age difference. And if there's not an age difference, there's definitely a life experience difference. And you rose to the task, but it's not. I just want to say it's not. Some of you have been trying to mentor somebody. If you're not caretaking, it's also like a mentorship. This is not for everybody. These are just different things that I'm seeing. Excuse me. Different things that I'm seeing here, okay? And it's just too much. The way you've been going about it, or even your decision to do it, it's too much. And then we have the Hierophant, which is like ethics and morals. It's like you've almost been too above board, is what I want to say. Too above board, too by the book, too safe, too rigid. This is why there's so much trickster energy coming through, because they're like, life is not about being so serious. So this might feel shocking and upsetting, but it's again happening for a reason. Any other messages or insights for group 3? Yeah. 3 of Cups, because there's more to life than that. I want to get one more for around the 3 of Cups. 3 of Cups is celebration and joy and fun. And there's a balance to everything too, because like some of you, this may even coincide with like being spiritual or spiritual work. I feel like the whole community has been going through these lessons, at least I hope we have, where there's a rigidity around what is right and what is wrong when it comes to spirituality or how to be a spiritualist or a mystic. But the truth is we need to be in this world too, right? We may not need to be super embedded within it, but we do have to live here, and we do also have to respect the physical plane and be a human at the end of the day and not be so rigid about the spiritual things. But that's just an example. But can I get a card around the 3 of Cups, please? Yeah, there's just so much about like duty here, and like it's just, yeah, it's too rigid. Can I get a card for the 3 of Cups? I did say you might become a Knight of Wands. And there it is. Remember to have fun. Remember to have fun. Remember to be a little spontaneous and to be a little wild. Like life just happens. Life is always going to happen. You can't like plan for everything. You can try, but you know the phrase, men plan and God laughs, and God really does, because God ain't so serious. Like God also likes to have some fun, right? So have some fun, enjoy life. And again, if there is something kind of that happens that's really sudden or devastating, or you feel like something is falling apart, it's a reminder to make room for stuff like this and to relax a little bit and let your hair down, okay? Yeah. All right, guys, we are complete. I like the way this last reading ended up, because now I'm just like, oh, okay. I just like kind of want to giggle and everything. But I'm going to go. I love you guys. Have a great night. And thank you for hanging out with me for 2.5 hours. Did not mean for this to be so long. Hope you are enjoying the new moon energy, which has been peaking for the last little bit. So yeah, thanks again, and I will see you guys very soon. Sign readings will be posting throughout the week. The Astro Talk video, I am going to try to post it for tomorrow, but it is over on Patreon already. Is there something else I'm missing? I don't think so. I believe that's it. Oh, new moon shorts are up. The Virgo new moon video is up on Vimeo and Patreon. I think that's it. All right, guys, I'm out. Take care. Sleep good. Bye.